Hello, I am Paige from Yoga with Paige, but today I'm not here to talk to you about yoga. I am here to tell you the reason that I am ecstatic that my husband got fired. Have I piqued your interest? I piqued his too, because this was not the reaction that he was expecting when he told me about 2 weeks ago that he lost his job. He works for a pretty decent company, and we live in a little town pretty close to beachside in the sunny state of Florida, and this part of Florida is definitely starting to build up. Things are not as cheap as they used to be even 5 years ago, but I was still so happy when he got fired. And I know it was not what he was expecting. It honestly wasn't what I was expecting either, the relief that instantly flooded through every cell and fiber of my being. When I tell you, I actually exhaled when he told me he got fired, because I've been wanting him to quit for a year or two now, as I slowly watched the life drain out of his eyes, seeping out of his body day by day, working for this company that did not appreciate him, that was not grateful for all that he did for the company. He did more than he was expected to. He did more than his fair share of the job. He was doing other people's jobs to make the customers happy, to keep this company going up instead of going down. And what did they do? Threw him to the curb. They threw him to the curb, and like I said, I am super happy. You know, you would think it would be the opposite, that it would add a ton of stress, but it really has been the opposite of that. It has relieved us from so much stress. But it was basically the worst drug possible that he could have been addicted to. The paycheck. It was worse than alcohol. It was worse than weed. It was worse than any drug I've ever seen, because I was watching him become more depressed day by day, because he just wanted to keep making that money, save that money so he could provide for our family and provide for the things that we wanted in the future. But his mental health was deteriorating so badly. But how do you tell someone to quit? Especially if you know Joe, you cannot tell him to do anything, much less quit his job. He's been working for that company for 10 years, and it was a major life change. But once it started to sink in fully for him, he was also really excited. Money is not happiness. Money does not bring you happiness. It does not buy you happiness. And you know what we get to do now, what we've been doing for the past 2 weeks? Getting back to the simple things in life. Realizing what truly matters. And it is not that company. It is not your job title. It is not the money that comes from the paycheck. It is your husband, your loving family, your kids, your pets, the people that bring you happiness, that literally bring life. Otherwise, what else are we doing this for? Even though he was kind of addicted to this job for its paycheck and what it could potentially provide for us in the future, which how can you blame someone for that, you know? But we are both not money-driven people. We are both more happiness-driven people, which is why we strive to exercise all the time, get outside a lot. And this only intensified this. This only drove this point home for us, because once that was gone, we both felt the stress literally leave us. After that weekend, after that week where it settled in and everything was starting to calm down, we both started becoming so much happier. We were waking up happier. He's been sleeping like a rock. He used to wake up at like 3 or 4 in the morning a lot and be like, couldn't go back to sleep. And I think it was because he was so stressed out about all the messages he was getting overnight, all the things that he still had to do, all the worries about his job. And now that's gone. He sleeps heavily through the night, and we wake up and we just get to spend so much more quality time together figuring out what sets his soul on fire. What sets my soul on fire? How are we going to do this together now? So not only is this like building our relationship, strengthening us because we're going through this together and we're working through it and figuring it out as a team, it is also an opportunity, a beautiful chance to do something new, to carve a new path, to go down a new road, figure out what we want to do now. Because that's what it's about. It's not about money. It's not about cars. People will be living in your house in 100 years. They'll have your stuff, but what lights you up? What sets your soul on fire? And if there's anything with this stupid little rambling video that I want to drive home, it's that. What sets your soul on fire? Whatever came to mind, I want you to figure out how to include that more in your daily life, in your weekly life. Do more of the things that make you happy. Because that company does not care about you. It does not. So you need to care about yourself and your mental well-being and make sure that you are prioritizing that. Because it's all up to you. This is your life and you get to find your happiness. You get to create your happiness. That's all I really want to say, is that even though it seemed a little scary, it has really just breathed new life into our lives, because now we no longer feel this need to rush everything. We were trying to fit so many things into our days and so many ideas that would be 2 years down the road, 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, when we had enough money, when we had enough time. Well, now is the time. Now is the time, and now that we have this extra time, it is so nice, because we are both learning to slow down the process and really enjoy the steps that it takes to get there. Slowing everything down and having extra time has really made me feel more joy throughout small moments of my day. Even seemingly mundane things are becoming a little bit more sacred, a little bit more like nice morning rituals that you just get to enjoy, because you're not thinking about what you have to do next, about that next meeting, that next deadline. You're really just enjoying the here and the now. So if anything, I just want to leave you with that. Maybe a little bit of food for thought. Those thoughts of striving so hard to be such a good employee for a company that does not give a crap about you in the long run. You have to give a lot of craps about yourself. And that is just all I really want to drive home. And I'm sure I've said this about 4 times now, but I'm going to repeat it until you start to believe it. Because you are worth it and you deserve all of the happiness that you can give yourself. And only you can do that. So, yeah. Thank you for listening to another rambling chat about not yoga on Yoga with Paige. And I will see you next time. Also, I would love to know your thoughts on this topic. Has this ever happened to you? And how did you deal with it? How did you feel about it? Because I'm kind of surprised that I was so relieved and ecstatic when he told me. I thought I would have a little bit of worry, but I really don't care. I would live on the side of the road in a box with this man and my dog. That's what I care about. I don't care about money. Take your money. I want my mental health. Anyway, have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest. And I will see you soon.